кар'єра. Абсолютно всі матеріалс, які є в кар'єрі, ми намагаємося. Приїхав, так? Це вже графіт, який ми можемо сміливо продавати нашим клієнтам.
We'll let the Ukrainians decide for themselves. We're not going to tell them what to do, and neither will Russia. But that, you'll have to just live with that. And so, it's important to say what it's not, because early on there were some agreements put under the nose of the Ukrainians that pretty much took away their sovereignty, if you will, over their minerals and this type of thing. It was a bit of an extortion that looked like that for a lot of people. And so the Ukrainians pushed back, and Zelensky pushed back. And in fact, they were pushing up until just moments before the signature. Their trade minister was here and managed to sign something that was more acceptable. And it's, as you said, it's a fund. It's a fund that is that the Ukrainians will make contributions to from the sale of their mineral wealth. And it's not just rare earths, it's all kinds of things. And the understanding now is that this is monies that will accumulate now into this fund to help reconstruction, to help further assistance. It's not to repay the U.S. for what's already happened. So this is looking forward. It's not looking backwards. It's talking about not just assistance, but also repairing and rejuvenating and helping Ukraine come out of the horrible rubble that a lot of their cities find themselves in. So it's looking towards a time when there will be a peace agreement of some type, and they can look at reconstruction.
Так, ви можете тут подивитись. Так, от дивіться, що відбувається. Дивіться. Є тут титан, там металургійна галузь дуже розвинута була, а потім вони все підірвали, Азовсталь тощо.
Earlier on, it was going to be American companies going in and American workers extracting these minerals. That was the idea in that first draft, because that would be the security guarantee in the eyes of Donald Trump, that Russia is not going to come in and attack a country where there is U.S. business there, U.S. workers there, that in a sense it was a tripwire. It was not quite a military tripwire, but it was a commercial tripwire that Trump felt that was good enough in terms of security guarantees. So that idea of American companies going in and having exclusive rights to that mineral wealth, that's been relaxed somewhat. And I don't know the details on how much it could be the Americans get a particular slice of it, for sure, that's assured. It could be they get preferential treatment, which is probably at a minimum what's going to happen. But there's got to be room for Ukrainian companies as well. And so they don't want to, miss out on some of the profit that comes from this, which is, and the way the donation is going to be is half of what they earn. So there's got to be room for Ukraine to earn some money from this so they can make the contributions. I think there's two things that are particularly important that are not in this final draft. One is calling for elections in Ukraine. That's really a dog whistle, if you will, for getting rid of the Zelensky and his people. That's something that the Russians have really been pushing for one way or another, and it's survived every edition of this agreement until last night, I guess, when it dropped. And another thing too is, this was pitched by Trump early on as a way to reimburse the United States for monies that we've already spent to assist Ukraine. He felt that was really important, that we were being stiffed. That also had survived up until the last moment.
Гармата!
Who will have the rights to those lands? As you know, that's one thing that is holding up any kind of ceasefire, is whether it's Crimea or the oblasts that aren't fully occupied by Russia. And that's where a lot of these rare earths are. So how does that factor into a broader peace agreement? We don't know. If in fact Ukraine has to give up territory more than just Crimea, and it's going to be giving up those oblasts, at least those that have been occupied by Russian forces, there will have to be something in there about the rare earths. And I don't know, it could be that the Russians have sole control over those. Maybe there's some sharing arrangement that's part of the peace agreement. I don't know, but we're going to have to see probably down the road how that is taken care of. Russia has also been saying that they have plenty of rare earths and other types of minerals, oil, gas, that type of thing that the U.S. should be interested in. And so this, in Russia's eyes, gets them a little bit closer, too, to finally being able to cut an exclusive deal with the U.S. U.S., Russia, deal on minerals, extraction, sale. Putin really needs this. He really wants this. And if this agreement can get him to a place where maybe the U.S. can begin to focus on that part, that's something that is good for Russia. Because at the end of the day, that's one of the big goals for Putin, and that is getting the U.S. to come in, lift the sanctions, have American companies come back into Russia, do extraction, and having SWIFT and all of those types of financial holdbacks lifted so that they can do business.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. Yeah, you're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people.
No matter what one might think about this minerals deal, it is a turn of a corner that at least we're able to get something on paper between the U.S. and Ukraine. And this might get us closer, maybe, to a security guarantee type of arrangement. Zelensky has wanted that. He wants it certainly in terms of a NATO membership. That's not going to happen. The Europeans who are going to send forces in as a reassurance group, that's not a security guarantee either. Maybe this is something that at least has Trump involved. It has American companies involved. We can't just walk away. We've got this piece of paper now. We're involved. So maybe this does get us closer to something like a security arrangement of some type. So yes, it's turning the corner.